It's a strategy session today. I'm going to be talking through how I would sell personalized books online in 2025. I'm going to give you three ways you can do this. I won't hold anything back. I'll tell you what I'm going to say and then I'll talk through each one in detail. So, niche down, use paid ads, and build a brand. And you might be thinking, why is this guy on your screen talking to you about selling personalized books? Well, I worked for a brand called In the Book from 2018 to 2021, selling books in the UK and US, building the brand from the ground, managed to become the top retailer of personalized books in the UK. My tenure there culminated in a search award win for the best use of PR in a search campaign for the book donation map of America, which I'll link below. It's now on my own site. If you want to check the map out, check it out. Let me know what you think. If not, let's get into it. So here I've simulated what a search for personalized books would look like in May 2020, kind of in the heyday of when I was working, selling personalized books previously. And SEMrush is just going to show us the top 10 results ranking here. This was pretty much what it was like back then. You would have your paid ads above this, of course, but then you would just have big sites with big category pages ranking. Wonderbly, Shutterfly, Put Me in the Story, all big players in the space. Site links and an image pack for each one. But generally, it was the 10 blue links, as we SEOs like to call what Google used to be back in the day. So fundamentally, things have changed a lot. This is what a SERP for personalized books will look like today. So again, you have your typical sponsored ads up here, and sometimes this might be Google Shopping as well. Then you come down here, and this is when it really gets interesting, just totally shows how much Google has changed. You have a section here called personalized books. I don't know really what this is. This is just Google like adding a heading, basically like a page almost. They've got top recommendations here, which is interesting. Then we also have where to buy, pretty big brands. Yeah, Put Me in the Story. We've seen them, Dinkleboo. Brands to consider. These ones aren't necessarily personalized booksellers, more general ones, but that's interesting. It's kind of saying these are like secondary brands. And then here we have an editorial article from The Bump, which is reviewing best personalized children's books. So even before you get to the number one organic result, which is I See Me here, we have an editorial piece being highlighted here, which is just really interesting. And we'll come on to that later. So we'll go further down the page. We've got 1 and 2 results here. And then we come to popular products, and Google loves showing these days. This is 10 products here, just a grid of 10 from a variety of different brands. The same brands can show up in this. There's no real rhyme or reason why. And actually, as an SEO, this confuses me a lot. Popular products. I try and click here to find out about the source and how Google is actually showing us these products, and there's no information at all. This talks about generative AI. Like this has nothing to do with this. This is a product grid for organic listings. So I basically just took a screenshot of this, and I did this beforehand just to save time. I took a screenshot, pumped it into ChatGPT, and said, can you show me the review counts for all the 8 featured products in the image? We can see here, personalized book for dad. That's from Hooray Heroes, huge brand. 3,000 reviews on that one product. Holy moly. The rest vary. This one is 1,700, some have under 100, but I basically just asked ChatGPT to then just give me what's the average number of reviews, and it's approximately 778. So over 700 reviews on average for products showing up in popular products. And I believe that's how Google is listing these. I think that's the only data they can go off. What has the best reviews and how many reviews? So look, if you're starting from scratch, it's a long way to get here. It's a long way to get to 700 reviews. Even some of these smaller ones, 147 here. And they're all using, most of these are using Schema to mark these up really well. Schema showing the stars there. So yeah, it's going to take you a while to appear here for personalized books and get these products. So product showing. So the first thing I would recommend is niching down. And I'm going to show personalized dinosaur books as an example here, because this is one we had great success with in the book, creating a very specific product based on a keyword. Kids loved it because they love dinosaurs. And it's just a lot easier to rank for stuff like this. It's incredibly conversion happy. People are going to be looking for dinosaur book and be served with dinosaur books and want to buy them. So we always had a great conversion rate on these products. Again, we have sponsored results up here. Popular products is showing, but as we can see, some of these have 2 reviews, like 6418. this is just a lot easier to get this particular product showing in this SERP and get clicks. Then we come down here and we have the general results again, and then more products. So yeah, this is absolutely what I recommend. What I would recommend is niching down and using schema markup to show the reviews as your friend here. So that would be the first thing, is to not perhaps focus on massive keywords like personalized books, but look at personalized dinosaur book. You can do personalized pet book, any kind of animal book, stuff like that, books about the environment, anything topical, family, friends, brothers, sisters. Focus on the product range and building out that product range and trying to rank those products as opposed to trying to rank for general personalized book terms. My next point would be you have to run paid ads. This has always really been a necessity in the space. We can see here everyone's bidding on these shopping results up here, and I don't just mean Google Organic as well. Paid social is always going to be a huge player in terms of driving traffic and revenue. Wonderbly essentially built their brand when they began off paid Instagram ads. I know many people who just randomly bought these books because they saw the ad come up on their Instagram feed. So you have to advertise. In turn, you can increase follower counts on social and just get a bit more brand equity that way. I believe it does indirectly affect your organic rankings as well. So, you know, you have to pay to play. And that's, especially if you're starting off, that's absolutely where I'd start as well. Perhaps not bidding on huge personalized book terms, more generic. Again, niche down your ads, create ad copy that specifically references dinosaur book, for instance. And then finally, building the brand. So building a brand, you know, it's important in every space. I think in Google, it's just becoming more and more important these days. We saw here The Bump has reviewed their best books, and this is showing above what you would want your customers to see, which is your actual page. It's got an editorial piece here. So I would really try and hammer the PR side of things and try and get these books out to the people who are writing these articles. If you do just general searches, you can use BuzzSumo or just Google searches, news searches, to see who's writing about personalized books. Just ask them if they want to review a product in exchange for a review. If they ask pay to play, you know, you can pay a little bit, but ultimately, the more articles you're appearing in like this, the more times your brand is mentioned. These are all just great signals to Google. So work to get your products in editorial reviews, absolutely. Reviews are important. I've spoken at length, I feel, already about reviews here. And I'm not talking about sending it to influencers and getting them to review it and maybe, you know, their audience buying books. We tried that before, paying $6,000 to an influencer. You never return that cost, and it's hard to justify that spend a lot. I would actually send books to any influencer, literally anyone who wants to get a book in exchange for a review. I would do it. Offer your customers incentives, 10% off their next purchase to review the book. It's just vital to get these reviews and store ratings here. And that's another one I want to speak about briefly. So store rating is overall reviews for the brand. We can see here, this shows up for I See Me on the homepage, which, yeah, makes sense. Interestingly enough, Dinkleboo US here, they've got, you know, this is a very specific category page for kids books, and they have their store rating on this as well. So they've used schema to mark this page up and show the stars. Stars are massive for click-through rates. It also is just a wonderful social signal. Look, we can see everything going on here, the price range, but the stars are really what's important in getting through, and, you know, seeing that 3.7 thousand have reviewed this. It's always a bit of a gray area. Schema markup for store rating is really supposed to be on a homepage, but people do get away with it. You can add schema markup for store rating to category pages and help increase your click-through rates that way as well. So look, some of the things I've spoken about are controversial, but ultimately the landscape is not a level playing field. Google is just the perfect example of that. It's not a level playing field. It's favoring big brands these days. You have to build a brand to compete. Start by niching down, paying for ads, just trying to find a way to break through the noise and using PR and connections in the industry to your advantage. That would be my walkthrough on how to successfully sell the books as products online in 2025. So if you enjoyed the video, like and subscribe. Until then, go well.